Hello and welcome to Payentry's Affordable Care Act Determining Large Employer Status presentation. The objective of this presentation is to demonstrate how the ACA Large Employer Estimate Report can assist you in determining your large employer status. According to the ACA, a large employer is an employer who averages 50 or more full-time or full-time equivalent employees. This report is designed to help you with that estimate. This tool is only an estimate. It uses the hours recorded within the payroll. Please use this in conjunction with anything documented outside of the Payentry system to make your determination. We recommend you consult your legal advisor or an ACA expert for more information. Before we sign into Payentry, let's go over some terminology. First of all, service hours. Service hours are the hours the employee has worked. It also includes hours in which the employee is paid but does not work, such as vacation, sick, or holiday. It would include FMLA, or leave of absence hours. It does not include bonuses, commissions, or retroactive pay. For more information on service hours, you can look at the IRS publication or contact an ACA expert. You should set up a code group to track your service hours. Please contact your payroll provider and have a code group for ACA service hours set up. Next is seasonal employees. Seasonal workers are those that work 120 or fewer days during the year. They can be excluded for the purposes of determining your large employer status. Please make sure to refer to this IRS publication to ensure that you are using your seasonal employees exemption appropriately. We also want to review if you are an employer with multiple entities under a common ownership. These should be calculated combining all of the like entities. In the payroll system, this can be done with the parent-child companies option. Please contact your payroll service provider for more information on setting this up. To run this report, from Payentry's main menu, select Reports. From the Report screen, find the All Company Reports and then find ACA Large Employer Estimate and click Run. From the Run Report screen, you're going to leave the date range as the most recent payroll, the sorting detailed, and then let's review the additional options that are found for this report. The first one is the parent company. If you have multiple entities, as we mentioned before, you will have a parent company. You will enter the parent company's company number here, and then it will consolidate all of your reporting. You should have a code group set up for your service hours. Once you've established a code group, you will enter the value here. I have set a code group up called ACA for this purpose. Next is the report year. Enter the report year that you're reporting off of. It will automatically default to January as your start month and December as your ending month. And then if you have seasonal employees and you want to include their exemptions, put a check in that box. You can leave the output format and the view report as they stand and click Run Report. Depending on your internet browser settings, if you allow pop-ups, your report will automatically open. If not, you can retrieve your report within the pickup area. And here is our report. Let's take a look at the report in detail, column by column. The first column is a month-by-month breakdown of the entire year. If you happen to run this payroll mid-year, you will see that only the months that have processed will be showing. The payrolls within each month are listed by ending date, not by check date. Also important to note, if you're a bi-weekly employer, for those 2 months where you will have 3 payrolls within the year, the numbers will look overstated. However, your large employer status is based on an average for the entire year, so it will average out in the end. The next column is the full-time employees. These are the employees who have had at least 130 hours recorded in that month. Next is the part-time employees. The part-time employees are those employees with less than 130 hours within that month. The next column are the part-time hours. The part-time hours are the hours that were recorded for all of the part-time employees. These are the hours that will be used to calculate your full-time equivalents. And the next column are your FTEs, your full-time equivalents. These have been calculated from the part-time hours for that month. The next column is the sum of your full-time employees plus your FTEs. The last 3 columns are only showing because we selected to have the seasonal employees on the report. If you did not select that option, these 3 columns will be blank. This column gives you a total of your seasonal FTEs, and the next column gives you a total of full-time and full-time equivalents minus your seasonal employees. And the final column is seasonal applies. This lets you know whether or not the seasonal employee exemption was applied to that month. To show you how it's determined whether or not the seasonal exemption should apply, I've done a little chart here for you. This column is column A, the full-time and full-time equivalent totals. This column is column B, the full-time equivalents minus the seasonal. And then these are the formulas that are used to determine whether or not the seasonal exemption should apply. Now let's take a look at the totals. I've split the screen so we still have the headings at the top, but we're going to focus in on the totals at the bottom. For the year 2014 for this company, they averaged 46 full-time employees, 887.71 part-time hours. This calculated out to be 53 full-time and full-time equivalents. They also averaged 2 seasonal employees. So with the seasonal employee exemption, they were able to subtract these 2 from their 53 to come up with the annual average of 51 employees. Since the threshold is 50 or more full-time or full-time equivalent employees, this may be a large employer. Again, this is an estimate. Please consult with your legal advisor or an ACA expert to determine your status. Also keep in mind that the hours used to calculate this report are all those hours that are in Payentry. They would not include anything that you're tracking outside of the system. For example, employees on FMLA might not have all of their hours in Payentry. This concludes our presentation on Payentry's Affordable Care Act determining large employer status.